This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That solo there was me doing what I like to call my impersonation of a fast guitar player, because, you know, I'm not really that fast, to be honest with you. But I do have one or two things that I can sort of pull out the bag whenever the occasion suggests that a little bit of a twiddly run might be in order here. And the reason why we're talking about this is because today is Wednesday, and on Wednesday I deal with viewers' questions and requests of a guitar or music related nature. So if you have any question or request of a music or guitar related nature, then get in touch. You can see the website address at the top of the screen there, link in the description, or you can use my email address jrguitartuition@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment below any of these videos, and who knows, your question might just get featured in one of these Wednesday videos. One chap who left a comment below, I think it was the video for the Ert Corsair guitar, that lovely kind of Telecaster style thing, goes by the name of Triple X Paps, and this was his question.
That's a good sounding fart, John. How's about a wee lesson on those fast little runs you use in your solos? I think it would take my playing up to the next level.
So yeah, I mean, it is a topic that I've dealt with a couple of times before on the channel, but it's been a while, certainly well over a year since I addressed this, and if I can get another video out of it, and if I can save you from having to search through the channel to find the relevant video, then I think everyone's happy. So here's a little bit of an explanation on how I do those kind of twiddly runs that seem to crop up in quite a few of my YouTube solos. Here it is.
Here is the explanation.
Okay, the way I tend to do this thing is basically to try and get as many notes per square inch under my fingers as possible. That way, if I want to play something a little bit quick, then I don't have to travel very far to get the notes. The chords I'm playing over here are A minor, going to G, to D, a couple of times through that, so A minor, G, D, A minor, G, D, then E minor, D over F sharp, G, and then via a D back to A minor. So the overall kind of feel of this is A minor, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm basically going to use an A minor pentatonic. Let's have a bit more volume. In all the different positions of it. And as I say, what I'm trying to do is get as many notes per square inch under my fingers as possible. So I'm going to try and find some more notes other than these five of C, A, G, E, D, C, A, G, E, D, C, A. It's a very handy way of remembering the A minor pentatonic, actually, the notes in that scale. Just find a C note, descend, and you're spelling the word caged. The other chords I've got in there, I've got a G chord. And without even the tiniest iota of theory knowledge, you can see that a G chord has an open B string in it, so there's a B note that I can add into the scale. Okay, so start adding B notes into my A minor pentatonic. There's one there. There's another one there. There's another one there, and so on. And there's a D chord in there as well. And likewise, I can see that the D chord has an F sharp note in it. It's even more obvious that this is an additional note that you can add to your minor pentatonic. If you would play A minor like this, and the D major like this, you can see that that chord has this note in it, which isn't in this scale pattern. So it's an additional note you can add in. And those, in the case of this chord sequence, are the two notes that the chords are going to give you that you can add into the minor pentatonic. So, as I say, what I like to do is I like to play this kind of thing with hammer-ons and pull-offs, which I just thought I was playing with hammer-ons and pull-offs when I first started doing this. I was then reliably informed that it's known as a legato style, but hammer-ons and pull-offs is how I think of it. So let's take a look at where we've got that that pentatonic kind of position here. Let's do on the top two strings. And then remember, we can have the F sharp note in that's coming from the D chord, and the B note, which is coming from the G chord. So, just start doing runs that kind of ascend and descend that using hammer-ons and pull-offs. So hammering on, pull-off, like that. So then perhaps try doing a continuous loop of notes where you hammer on and pull off. What I tend to do when I'm doing this is, as I'm moving from the first string to the second, or from the second to the third to fourth, basically as I'm going in this direction, changing from one string to another, I'll do it with a hammer-on, like that, just kind of hammering onto the new string. But when I'm going in this direction, I'll use a pick stroke. So I can maybe start this kind of thing here with a pick stroke, 5th fret on the second string, and go hammer on, and then pick 5th fret on the first string, hammer on, and then do pull off, hammer on onto the new string, pull off, hammer on, pick, and then just kind of continue that around. So you get this kind of thing. And I was trying to really emphasise there where I was picking, and everything else was just either a hammer-on or a pull-off. And then, just kind of carry that onto other strings. So hammer on to here. Pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pick, and so on. So I can kind of just slither around like this. Like that, and it's those kind of runs that I was putting in this solo, and pretty much all of the solos that I put up on YouTube. It's just my kind of default way of introducing a little bit of speedy kind of, or the impression of speed, because it's not really that fast. It sounds a lot more impressive than it is really. I'm not really doing anything uber difficult. Like that, so if I just stomp on a little bit of dirt, I can get that kind of thing. Like that, and it's all just hammer-ons and pull-offs. And crucially, you start by learning to do this sort of thing slowly. And getting that nice clean kind of transition, especially from one string to another, and just knowing where the notes are, knowing the fretboard. So many things that you do as a guitar player are made much easier if you can just look down at the neck and see what notes are where. And this is one of those things. It's like riding a bike. There's no real way to learn to ride a bike other than riding a bike and falling off a few times. So the way I learned the fretboard was kind of looking for these additional notes that I can add in to a simple pentatonic lick. Because I put a little bit of effort in learning where the notes are, and they've proved useful to me, that they sort of stay remembered rather than going through some memorization exercise of, trying to figure out or memorize every note on every fret, because in my experience that doesn't really work. But yeah, so knowing where the notes are, like just to recap, knowing that a G chord has a B note in it, so where are the B notes that I can add into this? pentatonic pattern here, knowing that a D chord has an F sharp note in it. Where are the F sharp notes that I can add in? And once you've got, you know, those patterns, you can start seeing these little runs begin to suggest themselves. Of course, it helps to have a reasonably strong little finger, but you know, I grew up playing a diet of status quo songs that was always going that kind of thing. So I've always had that sort of little finger thing there when I needed it. But that is how I put the impression of speed into a solo. I'm not a fast guitarist, but I can do a reasonably good impersonation of one using this technique. Maybe you can too. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for that little solo at the top of the video in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, the jam track that I was playing along with as well, and that explanation that you've just seen there. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And a massive, massive heartfelt thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are down there in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like while you're at it. As always, don't forget the live stream every Friday 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars and whatever else crops up. A fantastic way to kick off the weekend, I'm sure you'll agree, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.